We're millennials, this is how we do it. We make good money, but we're broke and we're going through it. We have many problems, we know how to hustle through it. Millennials run the world and we're here to prove it. We're millennials, this is how we do it. We make good.
And we are back for part 2 of My Man is My Man
and Her Man is Her Man too.
So we wanted to bring a special guest. We have known him for a very long time. And so we wanted to get his perception of millennials and relationships. Mr. Raphael, famous Feez Sharper.
That's what they call me. Say Dilly Dilly's famous Feez. I appreciate y'all for having me on.
Dilly Dilly!
Don't ask me too many ridiculous questions.
I'm about to tear your ass
I won't answer them.
No answer.
No comment.
Well, I do have a first question. So, I mean, we're pretty much all like the same age. So how have you, as a guy, how have you seen dating be different from back then when we were in school and stuff like that till now? Like even you as a guy, you know, dating out in the streets, like how have you seen it be different?
I mean, back when we were in college, dating wasn't even really dating. You just shoot your shot in the club, she got some drink, be like, all right, we all gonna be back in the village. I mean, that's where we used to all stay, but you'd be in a dorm room, whatever. It wasn't dating at all. I mean, that's just the cold reality of it. Mm-hmm. You do what you do, shoot your shot, no, shoot again over there. Like once you got out of school, you got a little bit older, everybody's working, stuff's a little different. Start actually having to go out, do things. I mean, the whole dating scene just has evolved and changed it's changed with the times and it's changed because we've gotten older.
Right.
So our perception of stuff has changed. We got kids and stuff now. Like the whole game is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Because especially with kids, you dating someone and it's like, okay, I really like them. Like, what month or year do you bring your special someone around your kid? You know what I mean? Some people say, well, I'll wait till it's real. I'll wait till we get engaged. But that might be years. I mean, you know what I mean? You don't know.
That could be a long time. And then you get into a situation where your kid doesn't like them.
That's true.
That's true. I told y'all my solution. You go ahead and introduce them as, this is my friend. And you bring them in, you know, a setting where it's other people. So it's just, and then you slowly start the seclusion where it's just you all alone. So then he's recognizing like, oh, okay, well, I've already met him with these people over here. And he seems pretty cool. And then, you know, you sit down and you talk to your kids like, well, I want to ask you, and this is something I'm going to try now, is asking my son for his approval. I want to ask you, how do you feel about, you know, Mr. John Doe? Do you like him? What do you think? You know, is he a good fit for our family? And then see what the child has to say. When you include them, it makes them feel like, oh.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in that situation if you ask him and he says no, but you really always feel him?
Yes. What's going to be your answer? Like, well...
You don't like him.
Did it hit you?
Did it
hit you? Just ask questions. It could be something really small as, but he doesn't play dinosaurs with me or something silly. So you have to ask and kind of differentiate, you know, what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. But if your child gets like an eerie feeling when, you know, I leave the room or something, like he looks at me mean and said, just I'm gonna beat you. Then it's like, it's a valid point.
Yeah.
But you know, we have you here and you talked about dating in undergrad, and you know, some of us thought we had real relationships. You know, I want a
real life relationship.
I thought I had something, but that was a lie. The biggest lie of my life. We ain't gonna talk about it though.
Those were like young trophies.
We go way back. We go way 14 years back. We go way. I done seen all the relationships, but anyway. So one of the biggest things we talked about in the last episode was marriage, and you know, millennials and marriage. Is it overrated? Is it hyped? And you know, we talked about how we've lost traditional values. And you were once married. Do you want to talk about? What do you think? Talk about to us before dating, before marriage, then marriage, and then dating after marriage, and what do you think is different, and what do you think is needed in today's society to kind of make it work? Because us as millennials, we kind of give up easy. We have no patience or tolerance. We're just like, you know what?
Yeah,
I changed my mind.
We go ghost too quick. Like, I'm good.
Real quick. Like, I don't like him no more.
Yeah.
So tell us, Mr. Famous Feez.
Well, man, that whole scene is it's crazy on our side. You know, y'all have these perceptions of, I want to be married by this age. I want to have this many kids. I need this house. It needs to be over there. We're thinking about, is it football season yet? So we're coming from two completely different sides. But that's like a big killer in the dating game. As soon as you date anybody who's over 30, they might on the very first date come out and just start spewing out everything. Like, I want kids, and you start counting like, you 30, how old, and you want to have how many, by when? Now I'm like, hold up, like, you want to get pregnant yesterday. Like, no, can't do it. So then you get to you can get on that, you actually do find somebody, you start dating them, and then you start getting pressed because everybody feel like they're getting old. Like, there's like a time limit on you. It's like, y'all, the females, y'all be having like serious pressure on this. Let's hurry up and do that, because y'all be wanting to do that. I mean, it's not that we don't, but it's a lot of pressure from the female side.
From the female side, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, having gone in, I mean, I think a lot of folks, they go in for the wrong reasons. Some may be too fast, may just be a partnership where it's like, we work together, like we work well together, we can take care of these bills.
Right.
And it's not really like that super love connection, like you're like, oh, I gotta have them. So then things don't work out. But the communication piece has gotta stay like consistent all the way through.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've seen instances where folks, like a lot of people that I know, you can look at them until they ain't happy. They just got
They have sad eyes. I told you that last time.
You see pictures of them, they can't even take a fake Facebook picture that look good.
Right.
Like, for real? Like, why don't y'all just don't? Like, don't take any more pictures. Just stop. Just stop.
Like you said, put your hand on me. You're like, I don't like this food.
Exactly. Like, what you here for the kids? Like, what are you staying for?
Right. Yeah. I think maybe for the kids, for the image too. Image is such a big thing. It's like, well, I don't want to look like a failure. I don't want to look like our marriage failed. I mean, I'm telling you, a lady told me fail early. She was an older lady. She was, older Caucasian woman. And I don't even know what we were talking about. I was just random. I'm always randomly talking to people. And she said, honey, are you married? Whatever she's saying. She was like, you know what? The piece of advice I could give you is if you have to, fail early. She was like, it's no need to have years and years and years of someone you don't like, someone, and then you end up resenting them. Then you start getting physically sick, hair falling out, stressed out. You hate your life. You're depressed because you're with this person and you feel like you're stuck with them for these image reasons, for the kids, for the house, how I'm going to get my name off of this, our names are connected together. You can always start again and rebuild. And what you rebuild might be way better, than whatever you were doing before.
That's true. I totally agree. One thing I have watched is people take this whole image thing way too far. I don't care about image when it comes to relationship. If we're not a match, I'm not going to waste my time with you. You have to go because, as I've told you before, my happiness is more important. My edges are more important as well. You see that couple of edges. But it's very important. But people have to let go of wanting to do it for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And I feel like this. For those people who are overly post their relationship, like we have to see y'all all the time. We done went through your whole dating courtship. We went through the engagement process with you. I feel like my Facebook friends, y'all my family, I have watched your kids grow up. I have watched your relationships thrive and fail. So when I watched you walk down the aisle, I cried with you even though I wasn't there at your wedding. I watched the video, I hit like, I love it. I shed my tears. And then a year from now, I noticed that those pictures are gone.
Yeah.
Things have changed. Just like y'all announced that wedding, announce that divorce. Don't be ashamed, but don't have people like me, it's not my business, of course, wondering, and you see people out and about with somebody else, and you just like,
I thought you were
they were happy, cheating on her. And then, but that's not the case. They got divorced a year ago, and nobody knew.
Right.
So just like y'all made us watch our little wedding and courtship and all that, go ahead and post that divorce too. We don't blame you. You know, life happens, but you know, we saw everything else. Hey, when you had your kid, when you know, all of this. When you lost your kid, you know, we went through all of these ups and downs with you. Don't leave that part out. Let us know. Because you might miss your blessing. Somebody might be trying to holler at you. And
they know you were single.
They still think
like,
you married.
They know you were on the market.
No, you're not missing blessings. That's probably some of the messiest stuff you can ever do. Like, why would you post that? How are you going to frame that message? You want to be like, all right, let me see. Facebook says, what are you thinking? Just got divorced. I'm here.
I'm in these streets.
Pick me, I'm back.
What? Pick me, I'm back.
You can't do that.
I mean, you can, but
is there a tasteful way to
nice,
post that we got divorced? Like,
I don't think so, but I will
nice
say,
way.
I will say that the thing with social media is that now, unfortunately, that's how we get all of our information. Literally,
all of it.
Like literally, like if we don't see it on social media, like for instance, we'll talk about mental health in one of the later episodes. So it's almost like social media and relationships, and you know, I can kind of ask you this too. It validates things. So sometimes you have, well, he didn't post me on social media, she didn't post me on social media. So are we really a thing? You know what I mean? I always hear people say that.
Like, it could be validated, but I mean, that just depends on how private you are, just how much of your business you want out there. So, I mean, that's a preference thing just between you two. Y'all gotta talk about that.
Yeah, because some people they will post everything. And I noticed with relationships, I don't know why it's like this. Two people are not both posters. You know what I mean? Like, you might have one person that's gonna post every single thing. No. But just in general, not like, I don't think they talk about it, I just think this is how they may be. And the other person, they don't even log in maybe like once or twice a year, you know, or they just scroll and laugh at stuff, but they're not really posting anything. You know, so it's kind of like when you look, you're like, I don't see her posting no more. Let me scroll. Let me see if I can get a picture of that ring. Ooh. She posted like this with that hand, and she ain't got no ring on, y'all. She put her hand in her pocket. So social media, I think, plays a role. And then I think in your point of how do you announce that tastefully, I've seen people do it without verbally saying it. Like a woman might just, now it's like living my best life, but then they don't have their ring on, whatever. Or a guy might be out and about, and if he is posing for a picture, gonna make sure you see that ring finger is empty. So that's kind of like their declaration, like, I know what you used to see, but it's gone.
Well, from the flip side of it, then you're like, oh, you look up and you're like, all those pictures are gone. I can tell you personally why you would do that, is once you actually move on to this other side, folks, like, you meet somebody, the first thing they do is like, all right, let me see if I can look them up on Facebook. Yeah. What do you see on the Facebook is like, ooh, like the Facebook will make it sound like I am a bold-faced liar. Like, this dude is married. Yeah. He got pictures, there's rings everywhere. It's him and his wife. It's like, those kind of need to come down. Yeah. Otherwise, you can't actually even move along if they're still there. Right. When it's to that extent. Yeah. I mean, I don't go back and just delete everything I've ever posted, but some of that stuff just had to go.
Yeah. That's true. That makes, because you're right. People look like, well, why he still got it up then? If that's the case, and we're using social media. You
can't even explain yourself out of that. You just sound like a liar if you're still there.
Yeah. You like, when you had time, you posted about the show, about famous Feez, about Dilly. You were on it,
I didn't take that name.
Yeah. So I definitely can see that. I definitely can see that.
So, another thing that's killing the dating scene is these little swipe left and right apps. I know you know what they are. You get on there, you be like, oh, she looks good. He looks good. You go out on a date. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It is. Yeah, I tried it before. It was like,
tell us your story.
I got on there. It was like, all right, you get out, and I'm like, looking at the picture, looking at her, like, hold up.
So they look worse in the picture?
You weigh about 30 pounds more in real life than you do in this picture. Like, y'all gonna stop with these angles. You get pictures from way up here.
Yeah.
I don't know what that does.
It does wonders what it does.
How do you do this and lose like 20, 30 pounds?
You don't get the whole front side, you get that side. And then
the top.
You gotta watch people that always pose like, chest up. You gotta,
Yeah, ladies, you're not helping yourself at all. if you have those pictures like that and we see you in person, now we're extremely highly disappointed. And I'm like, you be feeling like going to the bathroom and just leaving. It's like, how long do I have to stay here? How long do I have to stay here?
So what if you see them in person from the app and they look pretty good? Any other kind of weird things that happens on these swipe left, swipe right dates? Like personality?
They're just conversations type things. I mean, I talk to everybody, so it's not really awkward.
Right.
You know, I'd be on the radio doing all types of stuff. I just talk, but I can understand, like, people, I don't really see why people want to connect with folks that way. Like, you know, I would rather actually go out and shoot a real shot. Like, I don't know if you're going to be at a bar, you might be at the grocery store, you might meet them at church, wherever it is you run into somebody. Just prefer to actually go and speak to them in person. You actually feel like you did something. Yeah,
instead of just on an app.
You can see that you actually have some type of chemistry working between you outside of, like, I like your picture.
Yeah. But I will say, before the swipe left, swipe right, people were on the dating websites really hard. Yeah. I remember my old boss, and I would have never believed it had I never heard her story. She met her guy. Now, she did say, you know, she kind of before dated a kind of guy that looked like Lucius a little bit. Like, literally, he looked like Terrence Howard. He literally looked like Terrence Howard. Then she I know, right? She said she honestly put in whatever it asks you about your characteristics, and then maybe what you want, however you do it. And what spit out, what she meant, she was like, physically, it's not someone she would have chosen coming from a Terrence Howard looking kind of guy. But I met her in 2011, still to this day, and happy and spicy relationship, have fun together. And she was like, because it's not that the person is so unattractive, it just didn't look like Terrence Howard. So in her mind, that's all she had been with, so that's what she was used to. You know how you just kind of say in your mind, this is my type, and you don't realize how much you're closing yourself off from other people. Yeah. And now they're one of the best marriages that I know. And yeah, they were, you know, online. Now, it wasn't the swipe left, swipe right thing, but it did work for them.
I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just very impersonal to meet someone that way.
Yeah. But a lot of those things I heard are more like hookup sites or apps.
Well, I also look at it like, if you're scrolling through there, you see a female and be like, she is just like highly too attractive to be on something like this. Like, I know you get dudes hollering at you every time you walk to the mailbox or go on a quick trip. Like, why are you on this?
So is it for you guys, is it an insecurity thing? Because, you know, you see an attractive woman and you assume that she gets a whole bunch of hits. So do you already count yourself out? Like, you know what, I'm not going to bother with that? Like, I mean, that's
That's absolutely not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, explain it to us, Mr. Famous Feez.
What I'm saying is, you're too attractive to need to be on a dating site. So now my view of you is, if I do swipe and you swipe the same way, I could probably smash real quick, like, and just get rid of you. Your self-image is very low for you to actually be on this site. When you have that many suitors, why would you be on there?
What if they're an introvert and they're fine? A fine-ass introvert.
I mean, that doesn't mean that it's right, but that's what I think. You can't change what I think when I see it.
That's true.
And there's a whole lot of people who think the way I do. They go like, really? She's on here?
Yeah. Okay, so then why? Okay, well, how come she can't be on there for the same reason you're on there? Aren't you on there to find love? Or you on there to smash? Which one is it?
Smash or pass?
Man, nobody's.
That's a good one. Smash or pass.
Just get to
But we're over 30, we don't smash pass no more.
Yeah, that's the first thing that hit your brain initially. I mean, I've heard people be like, I saw her and was like, she's gonna be my wife, and like, you are 50 shades of full of it. You saw her, and you was like,
I think you thought about these.
Like, I want that. Your first thought was what you were gonna do. Yeah. And then you actually talked to her. Yeah. And then it grew.
And I do believe that. I do. I don't believe in love at first sight, even though someone said that.
I don't either. Maybe love after, several years, but
no.
I mean, on the flip side of it, you've seen chicks and I'm pretty sure y'all have the same thing happen. Like, I've seen females and y'all probably seen guys, you walk up and be like, wow. He's like, all right, I'm a holler at them. And you talk to them, and the first couple of words come out their mouth, you're like, oh my God. Like,
I'm straight.
Like, I gotta go. Like, I don't care how good you look. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, for me, like, your speech is terrible. Like, I can't listen to you.
Let me tell you, he is a stickler for grammar, people. Apostrophes, no salmon, no mines. He's a stickler. Okay, I'm sorry. Carry on. Go ahead.
But I mean, folks like mispronounce words
That
and
term,
misuse them. Like I'm sitting up thinking like, now I gotta treat you like you're my daughter. Every word that come out of your mouth, like, no. That's not how you say it.
Right.
Like, no, go back and say it again.
Right. Or like, what about texting? Like, what if you see somebody, they're cool, they speak well, then they get to that texting.
What up, though?
And it's just, and they're not dropping their E's. Like, they're not dropping their E's when they're spelling words. You like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texting you can get past, but the initial...
The texting isn't so bad, but if you actually speak that way,
yeah,
I can get past it if that's just how you text because you're just a shorthand type person.
Right.
And you like to chop words up.
Mm-hmm.
I can get over that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get over you actually speaking that way.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely disagree. I went out with this guy, and I had known him for, a while, whatever. So I was just like, you know what? He had kept trying to, I guess, shoot his shot, whatever y'all want to say. And I was just like, okay, let's go out. And so we went out, and the way he was speaking, I felt like I was back in the trap somewhere, like the waiter would come, and he just like, yeah, what up, dog? Let me get a, what that be about? Like, no, oh my God, I was really just sitting there like,
I would be so ashamed.
Like, no. I think for me, even as millennials, we have so many different standards that we look for in a person. Like for myself, I don't really do the whole, he has to be tall, short. I don't discriminate when it comes to stuff like that. Light skin, dark skin, doesn't really matter to me as long as he has a nice personality. He's presentable, he can articulate himself. I'm very big on oral hygiene and stuff like that. I'm really big on just like manicuring yourself, taking pride in how you look and stuff, because I take pride in how I look. And when we step out, we gotta look good together. It's not about perception, it's just about
your own
my daddy always told me,
yeah.
when you step out, you look like somebody. You right here looking like you ain't been to the dentist in 10 years.
Right.
It's not gonna work for me. So, yes, I'm really big on stuff like that.
But yeah, and it's good that you distinguish that versus just image and perception. Because some people, you can be, clean and good hygiene and everything, but like, oh, I know you're not wearing that because it's not a name brand. Or your shoes, so that, what you're saying is good. It's different than just that image, like you have to have a certain brand, you have to have this or have that, or what you have on, or you wore that 50, well, this is when Instagram had the weeks. You had that 52 weeks ago on, you can't wear that again. Like, literally, people are really like that.
They are.
Like, seriously, we're not playing. People are really like
when it comes to images, you can't be concerned about how people perceive you, how they view you. You just have to live your life and do what makes you happy. So to kind of wrap it up, and we're happy that you came on to talk to us, definitely want to ask you, being older now, above 30, mid 30s, what would you do differently when it comes to dating that you didn't do back when you were younger?
That's one of those questions. I'm still going to say nothing. I say nothing, you look at me like, you really just feeling yourself like that? No, I say nothing because it's not always the fact that you are doing something and need to try something different. Maybe you need a different person. You don't need to change you. You messing with the wrong people. If you change you, you ain't even you anymore.
That's a good point.
Snap on that one. Hercules.
If you do what all that you think you need to do to get somebody, then when you go back to yourself, and they look at you like, I don't know you, that's not even who I was actually falling for.
Yeah.
Like, nah. Eventually you're going to revert back. You can't be that person forever.
Right. I know you say you wouldn't do anything differently from that before, but your next relationship, what do you think you would try to do or steer clear from, or?
And just be a better judge of what you're actually getting. Just like what we just discussed, and that you take the mask off and then you actually find out who this person is. Just gotta actually know who you're dealing with.
Yeah, so kind of maybe pay attention to those, like, okay, is that a pattern? You know what I mean? Like, does she really seem like she actually enjoys this thing, or is she just likes it because I like it type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't come watch the Pats with me and you hate football. You can, but don't act like you're a diehard fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then be like, I ain't going no more. If you're coming for me, just tell me that. That's okay.
It's okay to be you.
Yeah. Like, I get it. You're like, I'm gonna just come just because I'm gonna come with you. Like, that's cool.
You think when you say you don't want to go, are you still gonna be like, that's cool?
Well, yeah, because at that point, I already know that you don't actually want to go see the game. You try to make it seem like you actually like football and you like the team, and then you stop coming. I'm like, now I'm feeling some kind of way. If I know that you only came because you just wanted to come with me, then when you be like, you don't want to come, like, okay, cool, I know you don't want to go anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So if she takes off all her Pats gear and put on Falcons gear, it's just the ultimate betrayal?
No, it's not betrayal. I mean, they lost. You want to be with a ringless loser?
The Falcons old.
Nobody ever got a ring from a Falcon.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Millennial Mindstate. We are all over the web at www.millennialmindstate.net. Are we on social media at all?
We are on social media. If you visit our Instagram page, Millennial Mindstate, our Facebook page as well at Millennial Mindstate. Come support us. And also, Mr. Famous Feez has a radio show Thursday nights to the more.
Oh yeah, every Thursday night from 7 to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard. It's Clutch Sports Talk Radio. You get to hear me chop it up, tell you all about the Patriots, and you know, I'll talk about other sports and stuff too. Maybe the other teams. Yeah, y'all check me out as Famous Feez, at Famous Feez, Instagram, Facebook, same page. Holla at me.
Oh yes, and this is our production manager for Millennial Mindstate. How do we forget that? Yes. So he's all over the place.
Yeah, he is.
All right, thank you all.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up, people? It's your boy Famous Feez from Clutch Sports Talk Radio on 106liveradio.com, where excitement meets diversity 24/7. Tune in every Thursday night from 7 to 8 p.m. to hear me and the crew chop it up and give you the freshest insight on sports available. And remember, say dilly dilly if you feel me. We're millennials, this is how we do it. We make good money, but we're broke and we're going through it. We have many problems, we know how to hustle through it. Millennials run the world and we're here to prove it.